All right, mate. Listen, I don't suppose that look, you've got 58p. It's for the bus, yeah? No? No, oh, no, don't be sorry. Be happy. What about you, love? No, have you got any loose change? Or a spare fag? No? Well, coffee? No, a woman the other day, she offered to buy me a coffee. I said, yeah, go on. I'll have a latte. I'll have a soy latte. I'll have a soy decaf latte. And how's about a copy of The Guardian when you're at it? Oh, she gave me this look, you know? This look that says, I'll buy you anything you want as long as I don't have to touch you. Yeah, I know. I'm being ungrateful. You are an ungrateful bastard, my dad always said. Yeah, maybe he was right. She was just lying there on the street, she was. Well, it wasn't so much a street, it was more of an alleyway, really. People were just walking past, laughing, pointing, but they were doing nothing to help. And me, well, I was just watching from the shadows. And so while I'm trying to talk myself into doing something, anything, some girl, she stumbles past me, she goes over to her, and I just think help's coming, you know, any minute now, and she leans down, right, and she reaches out, and I think everything's going to be all right. Then she drops to her knees, and she pukes. It splashes, I mean, you could hear it splashing all up her face and her arm, and one crumpled leg, and now she's just lying there with puke on her face. And I'm thinking, no, I can't just sit here. Not anymore. So I get up and I wobble a bit as I'm waiting for the feeling to come back into my legs, and I go over. This puking bird, she turns, she looks up at me. It's all mascara and matted hair. She says sorry. She turns and she rocks away, you know, one high heel shoe missing, towards the light. It's towards people, friends, family, safety. Oh, if only she'd been able to say that, you know, there's that one little word. It's that one little word. Anyway, yeah, I turn, I look down, and the face on her, it still makes me smile now. Shocked she was. Well, I'm not surprised. Come on, seeing me standing over her in a dark alleyway as she just lie there naked and deflated, she clearly needed some reassuring. Look, I've never raped or murdered anyone, I said, so you've got nothing to be afraid of. And then I wiped her down. Well, I did the best that I could do with a wet wipe, because I try and do my best to stay clean. And sometimes, you know, a quick wet wipe, well, it's safer than having a shower. You know, you're coming back, you're finding all your stuff is gone. So I wiped her down. Oh. But she just feels so lifeless in my hands. God, it feels like I'm losing her. No. Not this time. Right. So I breathe in. I breathe out. And I breathe into her. Filling her. Until she can just, you know, hold up her own head. And I don't think she had any idea how good it felt, you know. Just just how good it felt for me. To save someone. And then she spoke. You have to help me, she said. Right? I said, because, she said, because I am all alone. Well, not anymore, you're not. I'm all alone. And I need someone. I need someone to be there for me. He doesn't get it. And whenever I try to tell him, just tell him how I feel, he, well, you know what men are like? And I said, actually, no. I don't know what men are like, but, she just ignored me. She just carried on. I've met someone, she said. Right. I said, right. I see. And where is this someone? It's complicated, she said. I see. I said, but I didn't. But it's just what you say, isn't it, when you're too afraid to admit that you don't understand? Like, I remember my mum telling me once that when she found out that I was on the way, she wanted a termination. But at the time she made up her mind, it was past the cut-off point. It was only by a few days, but it was enough to... Anyway. On the day that she finally left, sneaking her overnight bag into a battered Ford Sierra, my dad, he just shaved oblivious in the bathroom. I wonder if I should have said something. But instead, I just waited at the window. I just waited for her to look up at me as she started the car shortly before Dad, half-shaved, towel draped across his shoulders, he ran out onto the drive and down the road after her. She just disappeared around the corners forever. A while later, as I was just sat quietly on top of the stairs, he returned. Head down, he climbed towards me, just leaving a trail of bloody footprints, putting a half-hearted hand on my shoulders as he just walked away from the last of the late evening sun and towards their empty, silent bedroom. Look at me, bringing the mood down. Where was I? Oh, yeah, it's complicated, she said. I see, I said. And then, right, she didn't say a word. No, she gave me the silent treatment for the next, was it 2 hours? So, well, we just walked. We just walked past people laughing and cheering, past people puking and kissing, past people fighting and bleeding. We just walked. Well, I walked. She sort of just, floated above the ground, me holding her up. Oh, and then, out of nowhere, she says, there he is. And I'm like, there, who is? And she's pointing to the middle of the road, right, where there's another just like her, but this time, it's a bloke. And he is being squashed and squeezed this way and that as cars. They just drive over and over him, and horns are beeping, and so people are cheering, and music is thumping, and Rome is falling, and he's dying, and she's screaming. Yeah, he's dying, and I'm doing nothing again. And then she screams, do something! So I lean her up against the wall, and then without even thinking, I just run out into the middle of the road. I'm like a dirty Superman to save the day. And as that traffic just flies towards me, I hold up my hands, and it stops. Because in that moment, I have powers. And as the drivers behind the wheels, they just scream, holy fucking hell, I gather him up safely into my arms, and I take him back across the road towards her, and she's crying, and she's thanking me. And she's scared that he's not going to make it, and I can feel him limp and lifeless in my hands, and I'm hoping he doesn't make it. And then the three of us, we just find some place quieter at least, so I can fix him up. And over the next few days, I swapped some baccy for some glue from a guy that I know. and I stole some tape from W.H. Smith's. No, because sometimes you have to break the law to save a life. And I patched him up. I patched him up until my breath stayed in him. And then I watched them. I just watched them get along. We're just friends, she said. Well, you don't have to explain anything to me. I said, she's funny, he said. Yes, she is, I said. Yeah, she is. And then, you know, the three of us, we just start doing things together. Having fun. We go to the beach, though. It's a bit of a walk. We go to the beach. And we lie in the sun and we swim in the sea, though they're much better swimmers than me. And at night, we sit and we eat together and we tell stories. And he's very good at telling stories. Yeah, he's a natural storyteller. And women love that, don't they? You know, he makes her laugh, and women love that. Women love it when a guy can make them laugh. And I'm glad. You know, I'm glad. I'm glad they're getting along. I'm glad because he's had a bit of a tough time of it lately. His girlfriend, she moved out, which was no surprise because she was only a couple of years away from being daughter material. And then he lost his job. And she said, you have to help him. You know, he's supposed to be your best friend, and he was supposed to be mine. And you know, anyway, I did. We did. Yeah, I let him use the computer and the printer. So I'd go to work and she'd stay at home, you know, doing whatever it was that she did. And he'd come around, he'd use the computer and the printer, and they'd have a coffee, which was fine. And he'd make her laugh, which again is fine, because there's nothing wrong with a guy making a woman laugh, for fuck's sake. So when he started to stay for food that I paid for, you know, no, not that I begrudged him, because he was, you know, he was my best friend. And soon, whilst she and I would put the kids to bed, my best friend would cook. And we'd all sit at the table and we'd eat, and he'd tell stories and she'd laugh. And when we were finished, whilst I was doing the dishes, she'd say something like, why can't you cook like that? And I'd say something like, well, one of us has to work to pay for the food. And then he'd say something like, you work too much, mate. You want to appreciate the simple things. Oh, do I, mate? Because that's what I want, is it? You know, my kids loved him. I'd get in and they'd be all over him. They'd be all over him when he should have been gone long ago. Look, I just think that he's here too much. You are just being paranoid. I'm not being paranoid. We've got two daddies. No, you've got one daddy. Yes, but no. No, you have got one daddy. Just me. I am your daddy. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit him. Daddy's really sorry. For fuck's sake, mate. He's only a kid. Yes, I know he's only a kid, but he's my kid. Yeah, I know that, mate. And please, don't keep calling me mate. But you are my mate. Am I? Am I really? You need to go and cool off, mate. And then she looks at me. Her childhood sweetheart, her soulmate, the love of her life, the father of her fucking kids. She looks at me not with shock or anger or hatred, no. She looks at me with indifference. As I leave, he follows me through the kitchen to the back door, and as I'm putting my coat on, he says, he's young, eh? He'll be fine. See, I don't think he will. I really appreciate everything you're doing for me. I just smile as I imagine him dead, and I leave. The last Christmas I spent with my dad before he gave me an action man. You could pull a string on his neck and he would talk Enemy tanks approaching. Advance in a single file. Give me some cover. That was my favourite. Give me some cover. Every time I pulled that string, Action Man, he was there with something to say. Said more than my dad did. Dad never complained, no matter how many times Action Man repeated himself. He just sat there, he was smiling. Glad that someone or something else was punctuating the silence. And when we moved in together, I kept it in a box under the bed, and every now and again, when it was just me in the house, I took it out and I pulled that string, and I just remembered him and his lifeless smile. Then one day I'm looking under the bed and it's gone, and no, maybe I panic, and I was a bit too much in her face because I leave her crying, and then I am at a charity shop and I am screaming in the face of some do-good nutter after he's just told me that my Action Man was bought for some kid who no doubt would have forgot about him after a couple of days, pulled the arms off, broke the voice box. He's probably set fire to it because kids are like these days. I mean, when you've got everything, what else is there to look forward to? Anyway, I cooled off now, and I'm back, and they're waiting for me in the lounge. They're standing on the rug that we argued over in IKEA, and do you know what? They look together. I was thinking it might be a good idea if he moved in. No, he's offered to pay his way. No, we could use the money with what? With buttons. Now, there's no need to be like that. Like what? Do you know, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say, so I go to bed. And the next day, I don't feel so bad because I've not left a mark on my little boy's face, and he's just talking to me as if nothing's happened. And as she licks her thumb and she just smooths my stubborn eyebrow, she smiles. And she tells me that my best friend, he's gone home, and he's gone home to give us some space. And I go to work, yeah. I go to work on a full stomach. I'm all full of toast and tea and bacon and eggs, and I kissed everyone goodbye. That's for the last time. I come home early. I used a bit of flexi time just to surprise her. Shoes off, I'm sneaking like a ninja. Now I'm padding from room to empty room, and I'm softly up the stairs. I got flowers in hand from a florist, not a garage. And then I hear her. I hear her making noises I've not heard her make for a long time. But the noises, they're not coming from our bed, which might have been forgivable because our bed was made. It was for sleeping in. No, see, the noises, they were coming from behind the next door. It's the door to our little boy's room. It was my little boy's room. From the bottom bunk. From just behind his plastic fire engine. From on top of his lime green teddy. The lime green teddy with no eyes, lucky for him. And through the smallest of gaps, I just watch. My eyes are open. Her eyes are closed, and Teddy's eyes, they're gone. And his eyes are wide open. Her legs are open. Mouth open. His tongue, fingers, mourning, and her mourning. Me mourning, and him mourning. And I look down, and she's like dough, and he's just kneading and squeezing, and I'm no, I'm actually like, so he's probing and I'm pulling, and he's just groaning. I stumble and I knock the door wide open, and now they're looking. Yeah, they're looking at me together, just knees gone, crotch bulging, eyes filling and shouting, and them just sweating, and me apologising, backing, yeah, backwards. Oh, I'm backing away, and I am wiping. I'm wiping a hand on the wall, and I'm down the stairs. I'm through the hallway, and I'm into the kitchen fridge, and there's magnetic letters, right? They spell love, Mummy, Daddy, pizza. There's a drawing of an orange rainbow reaching over a smiling dog, or maybe it's just a horse with 3 legs standing next to a giant flower. And I open the door with this hand because for some reason, I'm still gripping the flowers in this one, and I just reach in and I grab it. It's hidden in the back, as it's, it's behind all the jars and stuff, and I just turn and I am gripping. And he's standing there in his pants, glowing, and she's hiding behind him, crying, and I hold it up. I hold it up, that bottle of champagne, that we promised to share on our 10th anniversary. And he says, "Come on, mate, put it down." And I say, "Why didn't you come and make me?" And then he says, "Look, this isn't what it looks like. Let's just talk about this like adults." And I just tear that foil. I twist that wire. I hold the neck, and I twist the bottle because everybody knows that's what you do. And then she says, "What are you doing?" What am I doing? What am I doing? I'll show you what I'm doing. And a cork, it pops, right, and the foam covers my hand, and it sprays across the room, and it covers the floor, and I swig. Yeah, I'm snorting bubbles. I'm drowning in it. What a way to go. I'm drinking my fucking half, I say, and I gulp. And the bubbles and the acid, they're making it really hard for me to keep down, and as champagne tears run down my cheeks, he takes his chance. He lurches forwards, and nearly halfway through that bottle of champagne, I see him. He's barefoot, he's sliding on that soaking floor, head back, horizontal, then he's landing, body first, then head, with a crack. And it's just blood and bubbly blending. And at that precise moment, my half of the champagne, it comes right back up before I've even had a chance to savour it, and I'm just puking all over his pants. Oh, and then the children, they get in from school. They're just standing there in the doorway taking it all in. They're just getting fucked up. And she's kneeling with him as... What have you done? She said to me. What have you done? What have I done? What have I done? And my feet are sticky, and my footprints, they lead from her and him to them. Or maybe they're God's footprints as he carried me to them. And I give them the flowers. I give them the flowers. And their faces. Oh, their little faces. I'm sorry. No, I really am sorry. Just sometimes we just lose our way. I miss you so much. think I'll be needing these anymore. Thank you. Thank you.